Section 9.2, we're going to learn how to graph a quadratic equation that is in the standard form, which is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Again, this is called the standard form. Okay, and the way we're going to end up graphing these is we're going to follow some basic steps. First thing is we're going to do is we're going to find the line of symmetry. And again, in the review section that we did prior to this chapter, we found out that the line of symmetry, it goes through the vertex. And the equation for the line of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. And we're going to draw that line of symmetry with a dotted line that goes through whatever coordinate this happens to be. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put the x into our equation to find the y coordinate. So the way that you'll see this is we're going to find f of negative b over 2a, which means take negative b over 2a and stick it into your function. Okay. What that'll do is that will give us the y coordinate for our vertex. So my vertex is at negative b over 2a, comma, f of negative b over 2a. So that's going to give me 1 point on my graph, and that's going to be right in the middle of the graph on the line of symmetry. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to find 2 more points, if they're easy to find based on where the location of your vertex is. Okay? That C, we should remember, is the Y-intercept. So after we find our line of symmetry and graph it, we find our y coordinate of our vertex. We're going to graph it. Next thing I'm going to do is we're going to plot the y-intercept, which is our at 0, comma c. And then we're going to use symmetry to find a third point. And we're going to plot 0. We're going to use symmetry depending upon where this line of symmetry is, and we're going to shift however much we need to. And you're going to see that, and then we're going to find one more point and use symmetry. And I'm going to show you how to find that one more point. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, if you have your textbook to take at home with you, I am going to do the guided practices that are in the textbook. First one I'm going to do is number 1. It says y equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. So I'm just going to follow the steps. It says find the line of symmetry and graph it. Okay, so to find the line of symmetry, here's my coordinate plane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Line of symmetry is at negative b over 2a. X equals negative of negative 2 over 2 times 1. That's a positive 2 over 2, which is 1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to graph my line of symmetry. That's a vertical line that goes through x equals 1. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this number into my original equation. I'm going to put a 1 in for x. So I have 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3, which is 1 minus 2 minus 3. That's negative 1 minus 3, which is negative 4. So I'm going to plot the point 1, negative 4. Next thing I'm going to do is, so that's plotting the vertex. Next thing I'm going to do is plot my y-intercept, 0, comma, c. This is my c term. So it's 0, negative 3. And I'm going to use symmetry. Well, I'm at negative 3 this far away, so that means I'll be at negative 3 that far away. Well, how far away is it? Well, that's 1. This is 0, so it's 1 unit away. So 1 unit away, I'll be 1. Now, you notice I could have got that exact same point using my shortcut going over 1, up 1. Well, so let's see what we have here. Well, I've got that integer value, so I'm going to put little dots, I'm going to put little x's here for the integers I have. What I want to do is I want to find the next integer that's near the line of symmetry and stick that into my function to find the third point on this arm. So my next integer is 1, 2, 3. I want to put a 3 into my function. Put a 3 here. So I get 3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 3, which is 9 minus 6 minus 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So at the next integer over, I'll be at 0. Next integer over this way, I'll be at 0. Connect the dots with a smooth curve. Put arrowheads on the end of them. And that would be the graph of that function. Now again, all of these points, I could have gone, once I found the vertex, gone over 1, up 1, over 2, up a total of 4, using the shortcut. Again, I want to show you how to put the numbers in to evaluate it in case you forget how to use the shortcut. Second example, 3x squared plus 12x minus 1. Follow the basic steps. I need to find the line of symmetry. The line of symmetry is at negative b over 2a. That would be negative 12 over 2 times 3, which is negative 12 sixths, or negative 2. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to plot is a vertical line that goes through negative 2. So that my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know my vertex falls on that line. So what I need to do is I need to put the negative 2 into this function. Here's where you want to be careful. Make sure you put parentheses before you write down that term. So 3 times negative 2 squared plus 12 times negative 2 minus 1. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Minus 24. Minus 1. So 12 minus 24 is negative 12. Negative 12 minus 1 is negative 13. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the first negative 2, negative 13. My next step says to plot the y-intercept, 0, comma, c. So I'm going to plot 0, comma, negative 1. Then I'm going to use symmetry to find my next point. This is 2 units to the right, I'm at negative 1. So 2 units to the left, I will be at negative 1. My last thing that I want to do is I want to find the next integer near the line of symmetry that I have not used. So I can put that into my function to get the fourth and fifth points. Well, if I'm at negative 2, my next integer would be negative 1 that I have not used. So I have 3 times negative 1 squared plus 12 times negative 1 minus 1. Negative 1 squared is 1 times 3 is 3. Minus 12 minus 1. 3 minus 12 is negative 9. Minus 1 is negative 10. So at negative 1, I'm at negative 10. And at negative 3, I'm at negative 10 by symmetry. then I can draw my smooth curve. Okay. Again, I could have came up with all of these points once I knew where the vertex was by using my shortcut. My shortcut says to go over 1, up 1 times 3, which is 3. So I go over 1, up 3. Then I go over 2, up 4 times 3 is 12. So I go over 2, up 12. Again, I could have came up with those same points with the shortcut. But for those of you that mess up on the shortcut, stick your numbers into the equations and just do the simple arithmetic evaluation. Okay? Make sure to put parentheses around these so you don't end up with a bad sign. Notice that a negative squared is always a positive, so this first term is always going to be a positive. So make sure that you are properly using your order of operations. Again, just like the last section, there are no practice problems to do after this video. Make sure that these 2 examples are in your notes. You will be doing 1 graph at the beginning of class tomorrow before I give you the handful of graphs to do as part of the classwork.